The Ottoman Empire was a military state. Its expansion was relentless. For centuries, its armies pushed into Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa. This perpetual state of warfare shaped every aspect of Ottoman society and defined the fate of those in the path of conquest. When the Janissaries marched, when the Sipahis marched, they brought more than cannons and swords. They brought a seismic shift to the lives of ordinary people. The line between soldier and civilian was often blurred, if it existed at all. These campaigns were rooted in subjugation and the extraction of wealth. For men, for women, for children, the army's arrival was a cataclysm. It ended one world and began another, often darker. And after the fighting, a lawless space gave victors their rewards. When Ottoman forces breached a defeated city, a chilling protocol unfolded. The population was divided. Some were killed. Others were marked for enslavement. Women and young boys were specifically targeted, the most valuable spoils. Families were ripped apart in the chaos. These were not rogue acts. They were systematic. The selection process was a terrifying ordeal. Women were inspected like livestock and claimed in an instant. Resistance met immediate, often lethal violence. In hours, a woman's life was altered, no longer a citizen, but property. Subscribe channel Horny History for more such videos. Her body, her labor, her future belonged to someone else. Targeting women was strategic, striking the heart of a society. It was a demographic and cultural blow that instilled lasting terror. The message was clear. Their future had been captured as well. For countless women, conquest's violence gave way to the long misery of slavery. Markets flourished in Istanbul, Bursa, and Cairo. Here, human beings were bought and sold openly. Value was assessed by health, age, and beauty. This commercialization of life became a cornerstone of the economy. Many women were forced into domestic servitude, lives dictated by masters. They cooked, cleaned, and cared for children not their own. Their labor was unpaid. Abuse and humiliation were common. Others were sold into harems. Sexual slavery reduced existence to owner's pleasure. Sexual violence was intrinsic to the system, not an aberration. Law and custom offered no protection. A master held life and sexual power. Children of forced unions were property. Trauma was immeasurable. Language, faith, and names were stripped away. Identities erased. Echoes of survivors, voices from the aftermath. Documenting individual stories is difficult. Most were illiterate, their voices silenced. Glimpses survive in margins, court documents, and travelers' accounts. Fragments transform anonymous victims into real people. Folk songs and epics lament girls taken, collective memory bearing scars. A 17th century captive describes sorrowful marches of Ukrainian women. Some sought legal recourse, though the system weighed against them. Records note origin, age, and complaints. Dry pages haunted by tragedy. Safia's rise to influence was an exception, beginning in enslavement. For every name we know, thousands were lost, suffering silent, unrecorded. To honor them, we must listen for whispers in the historical record, and we must keep alive the collective grief preserved in folklore. Ottoman atrocities were not unique in pre-modern warfare. Armies lived off the land, civilians suffered immensely. Rape and enslavement terrorized populations and rewarded soldiers, used by Christian and Muslim armies alike, yet the Ottoman system's scale stood out. The slave trade was central to the state's economy and social structure. Demand for women in domestic and sexual roles was constant, institutionalized. Need fueled expansion, and expansion supplied the need. Religious and cultural divides, framed as holy war, dehumanized the enemy. Doctrine, greed, and custom, captives as soldier rewards, formed a perfect storm. Communities were hollowed out. Demographic disaster broke continuity. Raids bred lasting fear. Memory of violence shaped identities for centuries. The legacy of trauma framed relationships with empire across generations. The empire is gone, its palaces are museums, its battlefields are quiet. But the suffering of women under its rule endures in cultural memory. It survives in songs, place names, and grievances that surface in politics. Ignoring this is to sanitize the past and dishonor millions of victims. Studying enslavement and sexual violence shows how ideology, economics, and custom normalize brutality. These patterns have recurred across eras, warnings, not curiosities. Their voices were erased and overlooked. Our duty is to recover what we can. Read between official lines, listen to echoes in folklore. Humanize, not sensationalize. Restoring a fraction of stolen dignity is a moral imperative. By remembering, we affirm human dignity and strengthen our resolve to prevent recurrence. History's most painful lessons are often its most important.